Hey guys, KRX50 here with another review. This time I'll be reading the Chogokin Jibanyan from Yokai Watch. This is an articulated Jibanyan figure with various gimmicks and die-cast metal parts. So this includes a few things: the Jibanyan figure, option parts, stand parts, and the Chogokin Yokai medal. So let's get started. So first we'll look at the figure. Jibanyan is done here in a nice matte red plastic, and he's very well detailed and painted. Starting with the head, he's very smooth and round. You have his face here, with white paint here, and the design that resembles a will-o-wisp. His two ears, which are painted pink inside, and they paid attention to detail and took a notch out of one ear. His eyes are a nice pale yellow with black paint in the center. Got his nose, which is the same color as his ears. Little mouth there, which is painted on the inside, and you can see his little teeth as well. Going down to the body, you've got his collar and bell. And the bell is nicely done as a painted piece inside of a clear bubble, so it shines really nicely. You have his collar, which goes all the way around, and a little bit of white on his chest, his arms, and legs both end in white tips. You have his yellow belly warmer, which, as far as I know, is pretty much the only piece of die-cast on the figure. And it's nicely molded with various lines, and it's given a bit of curve and bending to make it look more like it's being worn. Going on to the back, you have his tail, which is, of course, two tails, rather. The tips of them are also done in a similar style to the bell, being nice clear blue plastic, covering these painted pieces. And both the bell and the tail ends are painted inside with a nice glittery paint that makes them kind of sparkle. So for his articulation, has a ball joint head. You can lift it up, and it'll open up his mouth. The arms are on ball joints. He has a single hinge at each shoulder. The waist can be rotated. You also rotate the legs a little bit down here. Now by default, he uses this simple clear stand, and he does need it, as with the way his feet are designed, he can't stand up on his own. Instead, he'll just fall backwards. So for the stand, you just have to take it and put it in between the tail and belly warmer, and he'll be able to stand straight. For the option parts, have two alternate sets of arms and then a canteen. The arms are two sets, both are bent, but you'll notice that they're considerably different in length, and this is because, since Jibanyan is an anime character, he does kind of play with physics a little bit, so he can kind of stretch and shrink his arms as part of the animation. And as far as the pair goes, they are identical, so either one could be for the left or right arm. And you have his canteen, which is included because this was released to tie into the first Yokai Watch movie, in which he, in some scenes, wore this special canteen. It's done up in a dark blue plastic with some white and gray paint. Has a little paw print mark on the front and back. And has this flexible band It can unclip on either side. And the last part of the set is the yokai watch base and Chogokin yokai medal. So for the base, it's designed like the center part of the first yokai watch. And we have the bump part, which is cast in a slightly pearlescent white plastic, while the bubble is obviously clear blue. It does capture the design quite well. You can see that they have the watch design mold onto the bottom. And so with the bubble, you can either have it down like that, or peg it in like this to have it flipped up. Then you can see the details on the inside, which are all molded and painted. Has the watch hands, the rails, just like on the deluxe toy, and the 4 colored segments, which are actually all raised. And you even have the tick marks for the different hours going around the sides. For the Chogokin yokai medal, it's of course the Jibanyan medal. And this is the other part of the set that is die-cast. Though for die-cast it's actually fairly light. And that's likely because it's probably hollow. As you can see on the back, there is this part that's screwed on. So it's likely that this is just kind of to cover up the fact that it is hollow, and so it won't weigh too much. For the front, you can see the details around the side. And the sticker here, which is essentially an upscaled version of the one on the Jibanyan hollow medal. You can see him in the center, the pattern going around him. His number, same as on the normal medal version, and his name here in katakana. So this can fit in to the watch part like so. And it doesn't have any rails on it, so it can be rotated a little bit, but it does stay in place. Then you can take the other part of the base, and then peg it onto here. And then bring in Jibanyan, and place him onto the stand. And then you can display Jibanyan to make him look like he's being summoned from the yokai watch, which I think is a really nice touch. I think it's definitely the best stand they could have come up with for Jibanyan. It is very fitting. Next, we'll move on to Juveniles Gimmicks. So the first one is that you can change his expression. So to do that, there's this knob at the back. And what you want to do is pull it out, then twist to the right, and push back in. You can change him between 3 sets of eyes, the first being his normal ones, the second being these excited eyes, and third being these determined eyes. As you can see, it basically works by rotating them in opposite directions via gear. I already showed earlier that moving the head up and down, you can also move up the mouth, or open and close the mouth. And then the third gimmick is that by taking the part that his 2 tails are attached to and twisting it left or right, you can move his body side to side. And to make more use of that gimmick, you can switch out his arms using one of the long arms and one of the short arms, then switching his face to the determined eyes. Then you can do it again to imitate his Hyakuretsu Nikikyu attack, or his Paws of Fury. And it works pretty well. Though, from what I can tell, it helps if you kind of try to push in the part a little bit, as sometimes I've found that it'll get stuck and rotate along these different notches. If you put it in, kind of push it in like so, you generally get a pretty smooth movement. And finally, switching back the arms to normal, you can have him wear his Canteen. So to do that, first unlatch one of the clips, and take the strap, go around the neck and under one of the arms, and clip the other end back into place. One thing I found helps is to definitely try to put it over the shoulder and kind of try to get it in between the head and body, somewhat like so. And there you have Jibanyan wearing his Canteen, which is another nice little option that you can do to make him stand out a little bit. And of course you can still pose him if you'd like. So he certainly does have some different options for how you can play with him and how you can pose him, which is quite nice. And there we go. So overall, Chogokin Jibanyan is a very nice collector's piece. He has a lot of details, a lot of gimmicks, and you can get him in just enough poses to have him be pretty expressive. Now, while I haven't reviewed any of them, one thing to note is that he does kind of seem like an upgraded version of the Yokai Watch Plow models, which often focus on swaveled faces and alternate arms. Though in this case, it does that without using any kind of stickers, and it has the gimmick for the face swapping be internal rather than external. And it's also nice that you get some little bonuses like the stand and the Canteen. Just add a little bit more. So if you're a bit of an older fan and you want a more premium Jibanyan figure, then I can definitely recommend this one. So next time, I'll be returning to Tokyo Toy Theory with my first look at Kamen Rider Beast. So for now, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, or share it. You can check me out on Facebook at facebook.com/krx50. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.